Hello everyone, good morning. So I'm Ritika, I'm from the company called Basil Systems. We have made a very cool home automation product and we call it CloverBoard. It's sensible and ought to be the world's smartest switch. So why switch? Switches, you probably interact with the switches every day dozens of times. It's probably the first thing you do in the morning and the last thing at night. You check all your appliances whether they're not running uselessly while you go to sleep. And you do the same thing even while going to office and you're getting late. And most of the times you leave them running uselessly. And not just that, even if you're at home, you leave a lot of appliances running on when you move in and out of the rooms, toilet, kitchen. So not just inconvenience, it also costs you energy. So we wanted to change that, and that's why we invented CloverBoard. So CloverBoard is a Wi-Fi-enabled replacement of your conventional switchboard that gives you convenience, energy management, and security. It senses motion, and it learns your usage, and it gives you an intelligent control of appliances. The interface is exactly same like your conventional switchboard. So do you know, by just regulating your usage of appliances, you can save to 10 to 15% on your heating and cooling cost and 30 to 50% on your lighting cost. So how does it work? So when you set any appliance into automatic control mode, the appliance will switch on only when the room is occupied. You get notifications for the points of energy wastage and instant alert when something goes wrong. For example, you forgot to switch off your heater, and it awares you how you can save more energy. So it follows your routine. So for example, at 3 a.m. in the morning, you get up to go to toilet. So CloverBoard is time conscious. It won't dazzle your eyes with full intensity light. It would rather light on gradually so that your eyes get adapt to it. And it connects from internet and you can control from anywhere in the world, from your couch, from your office, from anywhere. CloverBoard buttons are not hard-coded buttons. So a button on a CloverBoard in a hall can be configured to operate or to switch off all the appliances with one touch while leaving your house. And you can create multiple customizable themes according to your wish. You can schedule your appliances, and not just convenience and energy management, CloverBoard also protects your home from burglaries or from unwanted intrusions in your absence. It gives you notification on your phone, and you can call away your security guard or your neighbors right away from the notification window. It can also randomly switch on light, giving an appearance that someone is there inside the home. You can accessorize your CloverBoard. So we will provide individual sockets which talks to CloverBoard so that you can automate your appliances like TV, ACs, and geysers, whose sockets are generally at different locations other than that of fans and lights. We follow a simple shopkeeper model. We earn a profit of ₹3,000 on every CloverBoard sold. And as per the target market, initially we are targeting the new houses that are sold in India, which is like 4,20,000 houses are sold every year, which is 700 square feet. Eventually, our plan is to go to B2C market and to target the people who comes under SEC A1 and A2 section, which is around 2.3% of India's population, which is roughly 3 crores. So that's our later on stage of market size, but initially we're targeting the new homes which are sold every year in India. So how are we going to reach those kinds of customers? So the first point of contact would be through architects and designers. We have talked to a couple of architects and designers, and they are ready to install our product as soon as possible we go into the productions. The second would be through the builders and the RWAs. And we are also planning to launch a Kickstarter campaign by the end of June. This will help us validate our product in the other Western countries like US. We have done a very fair comparison of a product with do-it-yourself products in the home automation sector. So there is a product called SmartThings which provide a complete home automation solution for you, but it requires an additional configuration from a mobile app and external triggers, and you need to buy additional Z-Wave switches to automate the entire home lighting system. But CloverBoard, it works out of the box. You don't need additional configuration, and it learns as it grows. So it keeps on learning day by day. CloverBoard does not support camera surveillance, which SmartThings does. We have another competitor, Hue, which is a smart bulb and that can change color. CloverBoard does not support RGB colors, but it has inbuilt intelligence like automatic lighting, which Hue does not support. We have Plum, which is a dimmer, just a dimmer, but additionally CloverBoard has some additional features over Plum. Belkin Vimo is a smart socket, it's a smart switch and camera surveillance, but it does not provide dimming. So all these products which are available in the market, they do not support Indian infrastructure. Say you cannot fit a Belkin Vimo in your present switchboard size. So these are some of the cases why they're not being readily adopted in India. And of course, it's the price factor. CloverBoard, in terms of CloverBoard, it is far less expensive. It's a cost-effective solution. The team, all the jazzy electrical and electronics stuff is handled by Nirmala. We have Nishant, so he's behind the sleek, unique design of CloverBoard. He also handles the UI and the graphics part. It's me, Ritika. I handle the software part of the product, and we have recently got into a team, our business development guy. He is also an expert in planning and organizing strategies, Vivek. And we're also thankful to some of our mentors whose experience have helped us to get an insight into in and out of product development. The progress so far, we started in January 2014, and presently we have completed our prototype, and we are heading towards the scalable product. And by the month of June, we'll be doing our Kickstarter campaigning, and by December 2015, we are planning to sell 2,000 CloverBoards across Bangalore. So our eventual plan is to grow big so that we can finally attain a stage where we can sell our data to the big data companies. So hopefully every one of you enjoy the magic of CloverBoard by this year. Thank you very much. And we'll be showcasing our demo here so you can see it during the break.
So how does one replace the buttons in case if things go wrong? These are soft buttons. How does one replace?
The soft buttons I said in terms of, it will be a switchboard. It's a hardware thing. The soft buttons, they are not like functional to that particular appliance. You can configure it to operate some other light. Since all the switchboards are interconnected.
I understand. Let's say a particular unit goes down. They need to be, will this be by local electrician? How we?
Yes, the installment is really simple. It's as simple as installing another switchboard. So it's just like pulling off your original one and connecting the live and neutral wires into the new switchboard, and that's it. It's ready to go.
The similar boards are available in typically 5-star hotels, which we have seen across, right? When you select them, there are master switch, the soft switches which are there.
But those are hard-coded buttons. I mean, there are the wires which is there connected to it, but it's soft buttons. So suppose today it's connected to your kitchen light. The next day you can configure it to control your hall light. So it's all soft button. You can manage it through your mobile apps. You cannot do it in case of those hotel switchboards.
The hotel switches are different. They are not to be controlled over internet. They are a solution specific to hotels. They are not suitable for homes. Exactly. They are capacitive touch. Obviously, they are capacitive touch buttons, but they are not as smart in energy saving and all. And they are not controllable by mobile app because it is not relevant for hotel industry.
I just want to find out what is the wireless protocol that you're using. Are you using standard?
Yes, we are using the standard Zigbee protocol inside the house, and we're connecting it with the Wi-Fi protocol for the external gateway internet.
So does that actually mean that you need to have something like a hub?
No, every CloverBoard is intelligent by in itself. It chooses the master according to the Wi-Fi strength which is there. So whichever CloverBoard gets the maximum Wi-Fi strength, it becomes a master.
And then it communicates with your broadband router and then pushes things to the cloud. Is that how that happens?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
So I actually have a couple of questions. I'd like to put you in touch with some people that I know who have a very similar kind of product made locally.
Okay.
It's called the Jewel Driller. Have you actually done any use case studies? Have you gone out and talked to customers to understand what it is they really want?
Yes, we.
Okay. I just could ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Have you done some testing to see what the wireless communication capability is inside the house?
Yes, we have tested it inside the building. This building itself, we are working here.
No, in a proper house. So let me tell you why. There's a particular product that's around coming out of the Bosch Center at ISC called the Joule Jotter. It's essentially a smart switch driven by foam. We did a lot of extensive testing. Basically what we realized was there's a lack of plugs. And this is a way to extend the plug, and it has all the capabilities that you've talked about. But we found that the biggest issue for people is not the switches and not so much of the controlling of that data, the understanding the electricity bill. So I'd really encourage you to go back and see what the value proposition is that you have. Second thing that I think that you will find is that when you work with the networking technologies involved, particularly Zigbee and all that, those are actually notoriously unreliable. We've seen cases where somebody moves a TV in front of something and suddenly the network's come down. So what you will find yourself having to do is potentially have to put in Zigbee, a particular router or something else. So you can't expect it unless you get the connection. So in particular, what we ended up doing was actually using local Bluetooth so that when you go into a particular place, besides the handle, you collect the data. But I would just say also that what we found, you chose the Belkin Greenmo as an example. There's actually a lot of Chinese competition in Alibaba at prices, half the prices that you're quoting. So I'm curious about the prices that you're quoting. Are they for 10,000 unit volumes? Are they 100,000 unit volumes?
It's for the 2 BHK flat normally. So
Yes.
in 2 BHK flat, there will be 5 CloverBoards installed with 4.
So, no, I meant in terms of the price per switch. Is it based on making 1,000 switches, 10,000
It's
switches?
based on 1,000 switches.
1,000
but when
switches.
you scale up, it will further go down.
Okay, so your expectation is that that price that you got is a quote based on 1,000 unit volumes.
Yes.
Okay, does that include the molding and something else that you've done? There's a capital investment
Yes,
required.
Yes,
for
yes.
that?
That's molding
So
also
once
we
you
have
amortize
considered.
that cost, that's what you expect to
Yes.
see? Okay. Good, great, thank you.
I would like to add that with time, Zigbee technology has been made more reliable with many updates, and TI have been providing new chips which kind of act like range extenders. So we are using range extenders into our CloverBoard, so there is no reliability. I can assure that there is no reliability issue with CloverBoard.
Okay, so actually there's another company called Basil
Okay.
Systems, again out of Bangalore, doing exactly the same thing, except I think just to quote Jay, they ran into a whole bunch of these wireless issues and had to redo a different kind of bandwidth at 415 megahertz, and that's how they wanted that. So I think just take a look, just be aware.
So just,
Sure.
I strongly, thank you. I didn't mention, most of what I found that people who are being successful have gone down to the 400 and 900 megahertz band. And they've gone down because the propagation carried in Indian houses, because of our concrete walls, and because we put rebar in it is really bad. If you've tried to set up in a 2-bedroom house and do your Wi-Fi, you know that I can move my Wi-Fi by 2 feet and suddenly part of my building doesn't get connected. So a lot of these solutions will fail around that. So it's just a risk area for you. So please be careful and don't just say I've done it in 1 building or 2 buildings. You have to go back, and what you will find you have to do almost inevitably is do a personal wireless survey to know how many of these CloverBoards to put in and where to put them in what plugs. And what that means is yours is not a plug-and-play solution. So I'm not telling you this because I don't think it's a good idea. I'm just saying that going from the idea to what is you're going to practically sell is going to be fairly significant. There are places where I've seen a lot of people start.
Okay.
I'll try to get you together with them also.
Sure. That will be helpful.
And I'll give you a contact to the people at the Bosch Center where this Joule Jotter is available.
Okay.
They said they use a different perspective. They went after energy optimization.
Okay.
Great. So a big round of applause to